He was not able to speak well. He had no control of any of his bodily functions.
Spectrum Mobile with our unlimited data plan for $45 a line or our Buy the Gig plan for $14 a gig. Visit a Spectrum store, go to spectrummobile.com or call 844-230-8821.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and thank you for watching. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies. We bring you the innovators behind the companies making the headlines in that space. Some are sponsored, some are invited, all are curated and focused on telling you, the viewers, their story. Here we go. PetVivo is an emerging biomedical device company focused on the licensing and commercialization of innovative medical devices for pets. And with me is the CEO, John Lai. Welcome, John. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you, Jane. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, big accomplishment for PetVivo. You have achieved a major milestone with your NASDAQ uplisting and the closing of significant financing. So, congratulations on that. And kind of tell me a little bit about how does that position the company then going forward?
Thank you. Well, it allows us to really aggressively push the marketing of Cush, our product for treating osteoarthritis, as well as bring in additional salespeople. I think our forecast is we're looking to bring in 9 additional salespeople over the next 12 months. So it also positions us from the standpoint of really beefing up the production staff that will allow us to get to 500,000 units a year, which is significant.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure this is a growing area. Now, you deal specifically with osteoarthritis. So, and you're going to be treating canine, equine, horses. I mean, tell me a little bit about osteoarthritis. Like, how big of an issue is it with animals?
Sure. In the United States, osteoarthritis, there's about, I would say about 4.8 billion market for treating OA. But on top of that, it's been growing at 7% a year. And with COVID, it's actually enhanced that number because our dogs, believe it or not, just like people, gain weight. And when you gain weight, you have more arthritis issues. So we got a lot of drivers behind us, as well as the humanization of the pets. So consumers are willing to spend significant amount of capital to improve the quality of life. So basically, you know, the numbers really drive itself through. The typical person that was willing to spend treatment for a dog in 2012 was about $1,700 before they refused treatment. Okay. In 2020, it's $10,700. So you see a significant revenue. Okay. Yeah, the humanization of the pet families really come in. And a lot of that's demographic drivers. You know, you look at less and less people are getting married, less and less people are having children. Hence, they're willing to spend whatever it takes. Plus, on top of that, you know, it's recession-proof. The sector is very recession-proof.
That's true. And I take a walk a lot, especially in the summer in New York, and there are pets everywhere. So all kinds of dogs, sizes, big, little, you know. So now you have some stories about how you have helped pet parents. Can you share a couple of those?
Sure. Not only do we treat osteoarthritis, but we treat other joint afflictions. So we had one dog at 9 months old. The owner got diagnosed, the dog that had congenital birth defect. So its hip could not be used on the rear left side. So the left leg was extremely small relative to the right leg. The right leg got really big because it was overused. We did the injection, and it took about 3 weeks before the owner noticed improvement. And the owner, after about 6-7 weeks, said the dog was running pretty normal. And on that single injection, it lasted 7 years, which amazed us because, you know, we think the product should last at least a year, and we're seeing beyond that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and say if I have a pet and I notice that they have they're walking slow, slowing down, something like that, what would be a good place to start? Can I just go to a vet or go on the line, or what should I do?
Well, you generally go to your vet and then they do an x-ray. And a lot of them can tell just by the movement of the dog, gaiting-wise. So then at that point, we're in the process of educating a lot of vets at the major trade conferences and so on about our product. It doesn't require any specialized training to do the injection. It's called an intra-articular injection. And you can actually, believe it or not, go on YouTube and punch an intra-articular injection. They'll show you every injection of every joint for a dog.
Okay.
It makes the fun. I go, wow, this is pretty, it's not simple stuff. Your average person should not be trying it. Let the professionals do the injection. And after the injection, generally within 48 hours, you notice a tangible improvement in mobility of the animal. And it actually improves over a period of time because the particles that are injected actually starts to form a scaffolding. And so that actually enhances the cushion that's allowed between the joints, because osteoarthritis is basically bone-on-bone contact. So this augments the existing cartilage, so it tends to provide support for the existing cartilage so it doesn't get damaged. And then as it starts to solidify, I would say, it acts very much like a massive amount of wet sponges between the joint. And every time there's impact, it actually moves the particles, which ends up lubricating the joint. And that's what your cartilage generally is. There's synovial fluid in there. And then when there's impact, the fluids move. So it functions just the same.
Interesting. Now, right now it's for dogs and horses, right? Could it be applied to other animals?
Yes, we'll be probably launching a feline product within 12 months. And then after that, we'll probably be looking back, going into the human markets or other species. I mean, we have had a white Siberian tiger injected at the Seattle Zoo. We have had billy goats injected in the San Diego Zoo. And I talked to one of the vets and he asked, can he inject a bear in Florida? And I said, well, I don't see why not. We seem to have injected every animal that I know of.
Give it a shot, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I guess the possibilities are endless. So you've had quite a year already. Where do you see PetVivo in 5 years, for example?
Well, I believe we'll capture market share within the OA space. And then as we expand into other product lines, we'll get traction. And so we'll build a reputation of bringing disruptive products to the marketplace, because this is truly a unique way of addressing the problem of osteoarthritis. We're the only one that I know that actually looks at what's causing it and try to help improve that situation of the bone-on-bone contact. All of our competitors have focused on creating a better NSAID because that's a gold standard of care today. But the problem that exists with NSAIDs is prolonged use will cause GI tract bleeding, liver kidney issues, also requires compliance of the consumer at least once or twice a day of giving that pill. Okay. So we have distinct advantages over all the current therapies from that standpoint.
Okay, interesting. Well, congratulations again. Best of luck, John, with PetVivo. I look forward to getting more updates.
Well, thank you, Jane. It's been a pleasure.
Helios DX is defining a new era of reliable laboratory testing with fast, accurate results. With a full range of services including urine toxicology, behavioral toxicology, infectious disease, allergy, and other popular test menus. Helios DX, an alternative to national diagnostic laboratories, provides value to patients and physicians through personable and reliable services. To learn more, visit heliosdx.com/labs. Need hearing aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our Hear IQ 4 medical grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
GlobeX GlobeX Data is a leading Swiss-hosted secure communication and data management company. And with me, CEO Alon Gahi. So great to see you again.
Thank you, Jane. Happy to see you, and hello to our viewers out there.
Yes, and you have been so busy lately. Let's start with a big piece of news as you just had a capital raise. So talk about that.
Yes, we're very excited because we announced the closing of a capital raise of $4.5 million. We're actually going to be close to 10% above that, which is fantastic at a price. So it's about $4.85 million US dollars. We basically had a couple of mini institutions and high net worth individuals from all over the world. We got 90 subscribers, and these are very good shareholders because half of them are already subscribed in previous private placement. They believe in the direction of the company, and they're very happy with the direction that we're taking. And this is kind of the last, I'm going to say, retail private placement that we're going to do in Canada, because moving forward, we're planning to do more institutional raise. Most likely, I would say it'll come from the US. So this capitalizes the company very well. We're going to end up with about 7.3 million US dollar in the bank. We have no debt. And we announced as well that we have a budget of $2 million US dollar for next year in advertising of our product. Obviously, and this year we opted to $750,000 US dollar for the rest of the year. As you know, we're doing a lot of marketing.
Yes, I do. And I definitely want to talk about that. Let's start with the Newsmax. So that's kind of a big marketing spin that you're doing there. Tell me about that.
Yes, so Newsmax has been very good to us. Always appreciate the support that they've been giving us, because we have our secure show now on Newsmax, and we used to have it every couple of weeks. So from September onward, we are going to have 80 commercials. These are 30-second commercials about secure, and it's got our domain name and our ticker symbol. So you both know what we do as a product, and also that we are publicly traded. We have a lot of our customers that want to invest and support us. We get a lot of compliments saying, hey, we want to support you because you're doing something great. You're bringing privacy to us in the US. So we're going to do 80 commercials, 30-second commercial, all around prime time. So the Greg Kelly Show, the Wall Street Wrap, morning news, things like that. And we're going to have the secure segment, which is our segment about privacy and security. There's going to be a new segment every week. And eventually we're going to bring other people on the panel, maybe guest speakers. And it's basically going to be about, the hack of the week. I hate to put it like that because there's one every day. So we'll have a lot of choice and select which one we're going to talk about every week. Also about how to protect yourself, get more privacy. And of course, we're going to explain how secure works and how we can improve and, save people's identities. So far, we've saved, well over 1,000 identity theft by people buying our product. And I think identity theft can cost up to $30,000 by the time you're done, not to mention the emotional distress that can cause, which it's bigger than a financial cost, of course.
Well, absolutely. And just the time it takes to fix it. I mean, that's time you could be doing something more enjoyable. So, that will be really interesting, those panels. So, and I have been seeing your ads. So I've been seeing them on Fox Business, CNBC, and the New York subway system. So I feel like you're really starting to penetrate the New York and the American market.
Well, New York, for us, for many people, New York is a center. It's one of the centers of the world when it comes to business and activity. The U.S. is one of the most powerful economic power in the world, and New York is a center of that. So we decided to really support New York in a major way. We hire agencies in New York. We provide jobs in New York. We have now 200 electronic panels in over 6-7 subway stations. You mentioned Fox Business News and CNBC. We have 116 30-second commercial that we split between those two. And Newsmax, being from New York, we're throwing our weight behind it and our support. We do have our U.S. subsidiary headquartered in New York. So New York is going to be the center focus for the growth nationwide. And all these channels, and we have people from Australia that watch Newsmax that suddenly buy the solution, and they tell us they saw it on Newsmax. So Newsmax is a big part of our branding, of course. You know, this is a great channel for us, and we're going to continue with CNBC and Fox Business because this is the business aspect of our company that we'd like to promote as well.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, and look forward to our next conversation when you can update me on the latest developments.
Thank you, Jane, and thanks everyone for watching us.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure is 100% private and does not collect or sell any of your personal data. Secure's Helix technology connects you securely to our Swiss servers without the need of a VPN, guaranteeing privacy and security for all your communications. Secure Messenger doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. Chat by Invites allows you to chat privately and securely with anyone outside of your secure network without the need for others to download Secure. Secure Send offers you a private and secure way to email anyone outside of Secure. You won't find this level of privacy or security on any other email or instant messaging application. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Enjoy the Need hearing aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our Hear IQ 4 medical-grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
SafeEarth is saving the planet through investment in crypto. And with me is CEO Kenneth Churchill to explain what SafeEarth is all about. So, Kenneth, give me an overview of what you're doing and why.
So, of course, hi, Jane, nice to meet you. We are SafeEarthCrypto.com. We are an eco-friendly driven project on the Ethereum blockchain. So we are a charity-based token that generates funds for charity. At the moment, we have about 8,000 holders or investors who really believe in our course. Since launch, we've raised a total of $240,000, which has been distributed to various charities around the world. Our initiative is to be helping to save the planet through investment. We also reward our holders by giving them certain transactions back on their investment.
Okay. So how does it work? How would somebody get started? How do we know where our money is going?
So, of course, obviously, like I said before, our website, SafeEarthCrypto.com, will have all the information that anybody needs to join our course. But we are all about generating funds for charity. And it is because of our amazing community and our holders who believe in our course. So we have certain rules that are applied to our token, which are called our Tokenomics, which applies a 4% tax to every transaction that happens on the network. Now, part of that transaction is split, like I said, into 4 different percentages. 1% of each transaction will be added to what's called the liquidity pool. Now, this means that people can buy and trade our token without any worries of the price that they're not going to be able to buy or sell. Think about it in a way that's sort of like a bank's vault. In a way, it's not accessible by us, but it's accessible by our customers who sort of buy and trade the token. Now, another 1% of that tax goes directly to our holders. So as people again buy and trade our token, they'll be automatically rewarded with rewards directly back into the crypto wallet. Another % of that is used on marketing. And the final %, which is where the magic happens, is where it goes into what we call the Earth Fund. So 1% of every transaction that happens on our network is added to our Earth Fund wallet in the form of Ethereum that we can then hand out to different charities who are helping save the planet.
Okay. Well, I was kind of amazed that you just launched in March. I mean, that's only a few months ago, and you've already got 8,000 holders, and you've got a couple $100,000. So, I mean, how did you get it going so fast, and how did you have such quick success?
Well, it's obviously a very interesting topic because for those who are not familiar with decentralized finance, there are tokens now launching every single minute of the day. I mean, the market is completely saturated with all sorts of, scam tokens going around, from things that you can buy but you can't sell. I mean, I won't go into too much detail onto it, but the gist of it is that it's very hard to know who to trust, like you say, with your funds. I mean, especially in crypto. Now, we have been around for 4 months. And this time we have done some amazing things, but it might not seem like a long time in crypto, but 4 months in crypto is indeed a long time, as the market does move ridiculously fast. So in those 4 months, like I said, since launch, on the first 2 weeks of launch, we donated $100,000 to the ocean cleanup. This was our first achievement. All our holders and investors were really happy with the work that everyone in the community has put in. And obviously this really gains our trust in our holders. Now, since then, we have donated a lot more funds to a lot more charities around the world who are dedicated for the good of humanity and to save our planet. These included Amazon Watch, who are fighting very hard to save our rainforest and the indigenous people that live there. We donated to another charity called Charity Water. Save the Children also released part of the funds to them. We've had another charity called Shanghai Watch in Indonesia, which we've donated $15,000 to as well, to help protect our rivers. So we have done a lot of work with charities. And I would say the best part of what we have done up to now was to help the community in India. So as you might know, people are struggling deeply at the moment with the COVID crisis in India. The whole SafeEarth team and everybody behind it got together, and we managed to put together 1,000 food packages for 1,000 families in India, and directly delivered these food packages to people in need in India for COVID crisis help. This was again done to the amazing efforts of everybody that works with us and everybody that is involved in the community.
Thank you so much, Kip, for sharing the story. Thank you for what you're doing. It sounds like you're really making a difference in people's lives. So appreciate that.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you for your time.
Enjoy the benefits of the world's first patented time-release hemp-based CBD topical cream. Hourglass has achieved increased topical bioavailability of cannabinoids that slowly release our CBD over an extended period of time. Hourglass is 99% CBD, THC-free, and lab-tested, and verified by scanning our QR codes. Visit hourglassonlinestore.com.
Innerscope Hearing Technologies has a range of products and programs to help people with hearing impairment live a better quality of life. And with me is CEO Matthew Moore. So welcome back, Matthew. Good to see you again.
Great to see you. Thank you for having us.
So we've discussed in the past the cost of hearing aids, $4,000, $10,000, $12,000. I mean, it's intimidating for this. At least that's the traditional model for hearing aids, but you're addressing that. So can you explain a little bit more about how you're doing that with the price?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what Innerscope is offering, we're offering premium, affordable, direct-to-consumer hearing solutions, hearing aids at a fraction of the cost. You know, our products start around $1,000 a set to $1,500 a set. In fact, we even have a subscription model for as low as $44 a month for a pair of devices. And you can get them directly from our website, myheariq.com. In fact, actually, you know, everyone is talking about how costly hearing aids are. Even President Biden just brought it up just a few months ago in his July speech when it comes to his executive order. Even talked about hearing aids being too expensive, and they need to be brought down by tremendous cost. So that way, tens of millions of Americans that suffer from hearing loss can actually get hearing assistance without spending $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 out of pocket.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's so important. And you and I have talked before about how people with hearing impairments have other health issues. So it seems to make sense cost-wise to bring that price down, and then you don't have other medical issues down the road that are even more costly to taxpayers and so forth.
Exactly. I mean, it really does. I mean, hearing loss affects everyone. It's a society problem. I mean, that's what we're all about, is really just trying to dive in and really help the hearing impaired. I mean, again, there's tens of millions of Americans that suffer from hearing loss that need hearing assistance today, and they deserve it, but they don't have it due to the high cost and the low accessibility. And that's where direct-to-consumer hearing solutions is the answer.
Mm-hmm. Now, is health insurance or Medicare cover any cost at all of hearing aids?
Yeah, that is one of the most saddest parts about this entire process, that Medicare and health insurance companies very rarely cover hearing aids. Less than 5% actually do. So that's 95% of the insurance policies out there right now that do not have any hearing aid coverage. And it's due to hearing aid, or insurance companies believe hearing is cosmetic, that hearing aids are more of a cosmetic issue versus a medical necessity. That's so sad. I mean, people unfortunately towards the end of their life, 15, 20 years left, those are the most precious time to spend with family members and friends, and pass down those memories and those lifelong legacies to other generations. And so it is really important that hearing aids become more addressed. And that's actually a great thing, is part of the $3.5 trillion budget deal that's being questioned right now and going back and forth in the Congress, is actually hearing aid coverage for Medicare recipients. If you have a severe hearing loss, Medicare would eventually cover hearing aids. And to our knowledge, it's a very basic text right now, but to our knowledge, that Innerscope's direct-to-consumer hearing aids that reach severe hearing loss would be covered and be reimbursed by Medicare.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. And what are you doing to, besides these interviews, create some awareness about your product, kind of some outreach to consumers?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, we just launched a 6-month infomercial campaign where we're actually launching a 30-second commercial on most major news cable stations. They already started rolling out last week. They're rolling out really heavily in September. We actually just launched our products with the FSA store, HSA store.com, FSAstore.com, welldeservedhealth.com. These are like flexible spending accounts, health savings accounts, because these do qualify under with hearing aids for flexible spending and health savings accounts. We just launched that with our Cardinal Health distribution partnership. I mean, we are really getting out there, getting our products out there, getting our awareness out there about our products through multiple distribution points, as well as through our own website.
Mm-hmm. And then what are your long-term ideas for Innerscope?
Yeah, really, Innerscope is all about gaining that awareness about hearing loss and hearing loss awareness, and getting people the hearing help they deserve and need.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Matthew. Look forward to updates in the future.
Thank you so much for having us.
In the middle of the business day, anything can happen.
We are invested in your success.
The goal is to help you through the markets every single day.
My investor viewer is so important to me. I want to give them the best guidance.
We'll get you ready Tuesday on Fox Business.
This is important news for people who have taken Zantac or its generic.
9/11 completely changed the way I thought about service. After 9/11, I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself. When I was in Iraq, I felt that every single person I served with, they were my brothers and sisters. When I came back from Iraq, I was angry at myself, mainly because I had injuries that took me out of the war. I felt guilty that I wasn't there. I felt alone. There was nobody to have my six. The soldier ride helped me feel like I had a team again. I felt like I gained a new family. That soldier ride, oh my goodness, It wasn't just a bike ride. It made me realize I could do anything I wanted to do. I just could do it differently. With Wounded Warrior Project, I found my community, and that's what gave me strength.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to bruxnightguard.com and order yours today.
Attention! It's time for the Ken Grody Ford Labor Day Certified Pre-Owned 400 sale. We are out to sell 400 certified pre-owned vehicles in 5 days. And for the first time ever, we will have 0% APR on every certified Ford.
Two, they say it was due to stress from traumatic events. September 11th didn't just affect me emotionally, it affected me physically.
Every year on 9/11, family members gather at Ground Zero to read aloud the names of loved ones lost in the attacks. In 2016, Walter, with help from his brother Jesse, who fed him names through a headset, became the first visually impaired participant in the ceremony.
And my father, Walter A. Matuza Jr.
Nearly 30, Matuza now works as a clerk for New York's Board of Elections. Before that, his old office was right across the street.
I worked on the 46th floor of One World Trade Center. So his son worked in exactly half the amount of floors that he worked on. So
you were avenging your dad.
You didn't get me. That's basically what it was. You're not going to get all of us.
Spoken like a true New Yorker. At Ground Zero for Newsmax, I'm Mike Carter.
Those stories are something, aren't they? You see a lot of them. It's unbelievable, the damage inflicted by that day. What a story. All right, 9/11, of course, changed the world, reshaped the U.S. intelligence community in a major way as well. Following the 9/11 Commission's investigation into how something like this could happen, an entirely new position was created as a central coordinating authority for the U.S. intelligence community, the Director of National Intelligence. In April 2005, former ambassador to Iraq, John Negroponte, was officially sworn in as the very first director of national intelligence, the DNI, assuming responsibility as manager of the U.S. intelligence community and principal intelligence advisor to then President George W. Bush. There's the moment there. And former director John Negroponte joins us tonight. And sir, thank you so much for coming on. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
What was it like taking that job?
Well, I was sort of coming from the frying pan into the fire because I'd been the ambassador to Iraq just beforehand. So, I felt reasonably comfortable going into it. I think that our intelligence improved quite a bit after 9/11 because of greater coordination between the agencies, better technology. Our special operations forces started getting really good under the leadership of General Stan McChrystal. We got much better at using all the different kinds of intelligence we collected on a real-time basis to go after the enemy right away, not tomorrow, not the day after, right as we were collecting it. And he and the others did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I mean, and it's such critically important work. You know, the last administration we saw in the White House did a lot of really important and powerful work against ISIS and in general muting the Islamist terror threat in general. With the situation we're seeing right now in Afghanistan, how concerned are you about a resurgence?
Well, first of all, I just can't tell you how disappointed I am that we left Afghanistan in the way we did. It didn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we could have stayed there with a residual presence at a low, tolerable, economically and politically sustainable cost. So I think that was a tremendous shame that we did that. As far as going forward, I mean, I do think our intelligence is better than it was 20 years ago. We're certainly in a much better defensive posture here in the United States. The TSA, all the measures we take, you know them all, just like I do. I mean, a lot has been done. Now, without any presence in Afghanistan, does this mean that the field is open for the Taliban to work with Al-Qaeda again and so forth? Well, we better watch that as carefully as we can. We're not in as good a position to do that anymore since we don't have people on the ground, but we can watch, and we better watch very carefully because that's the thing to worry about, and we're going to have to see what happens.
Absolutely. John Negroponte, the first Director of National Intelligence under George W. Bush and former ambassador to Iraq. Sir, thank you so much for taking the time tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Remember to join us for our special September 11th coverage. I'm going to be hosting starting 8 o'clock Eastern Time this Saturday morning, the 20-year anniversary. We'll have you covered 8 to 1. All right. With just 6 days left until California's recall election, candidate for governor Larry Elder attacked by a racist left-wing mob. This was really disgusting. It really made a lot of people angry, myself included. And so far tonight, silence on this from Democrats. More of that coming up next. Plus, there's always a silver lining to anything bad, they say, and critical race theory is no exception.